Hey Libra, this is your reading for January 2019, and let's get into it. First, I do want to say that you do have a lot of cards in reverse. It's a very, very all over the place reading, so I might just get into it. So, starting with your first row, you have the Seven of Wands reversed, the King of Swords, and the Six of Swords reversed. So, the Seven of Wands reversed is a card of, when it's reversed, it's a card of self-doubt. You may be feeling like you're like a fraud or something, or maybe you're deceiving yourself. The advice for this card is to, get out of your head and trust that you have everything and you have all the abilities to get everything you need to make a venture successful. Normally, this card upright would be having, I guess, a lot of haters or people not believing in you and you standing your ground. So, reverse, it's you having self-doubt within yourself. So, the King of Swords is actually the sign of an air sign. It could be somebody you're dealing with. It could be a Libra, a Gemini, or an Aquarius, or this could be you, The King of Swords is a symbol of intellectual power, authority. He has the courage to achieve all that he desires. He has clarity. He's well positioned to judge his situation. If not, maybe if you're having self-doubt, it could be that you want to seek advice from somebody like this. You want to seek an expert opinion, someone who can be impartial to, emotions, because it will be in your greater good for them not to look at, a biased way of how, if you were to go about the situation, you would kind of feel biased because you're in the situation. So it might be helpful to seek advice or an expert opinion on something pertaining to, a love situation, a job situation, a friendship or a relationship or job. Don't know if I said that already. But next card, you have the Six of Swords reverse. So maybe after, because the way it's reading, it's like you're having self-doubts, and maybe you seek advice, and then maybe after you seek that advice, you know that you have to go through a spiritual or personal transition. Okay, because upright, this card means that, this person is leaving the past in the past, and he's leaving the burdens behind, and he's moving on. Reverse, it's more personal. Maybe you need to let go or leave behind a behavior pattern or relationship or belief that no longer serves you. And this is a personal and private journey. It's like you kind of want to do this in isolation. You kind of don't want to, do this out in the open. You want to be by yourself and alone when you work on whatever you need to work on, as far as personally. It could be that maybe you're resisting a change. Maybe you don't want to move on because it's reversed. Maybe you don't want to move on. Maybe you're trying to move on from the past, but you're struggling. So those are the things that those cards represent. And maybe it's just like, you know, you're going through all this, but it's like maybe you have maybe you know what you need to do, you know, maybe you have the clarity, maybe you do know what you need to do, but maybe it's hard to do. Maybe it's hard to leave that situation. You do know logically, you do know intellectually, you do know, you have the clarity, you are clear on what it is. Maybe it's just hard to do it. So moving on, you have the Page of Wands reverse, the Four of Wands reverse, and the Six of Pentacles. So the Page of Wands reverse represents an idea that you may have, it's an idea, and it's kind of like the brainstorming period. Sorry, my eye was itching. It's kind of like the brainstorming period. Like you have an idea and it's fairly new, but upright, you're not ready to charge forward with it. You're still, you know, thinking about it because it's a fresh idea. But reverse, it's kind of the same thing, but instead, you know, it could mean that you have an idea about something new, but maybe you don't want to start it yet, you know. Maybe it's still in the works. Maybe you're not sure about it. It could also mean that you tried new projects and a new venture and you tried to get out there, but it didn't turn out how you thought it was going to turn out. Or maybe it could just be that you're indecisive about a path. And it could be that maybe you do have an idea, but there's conflicts and obstacles, you know, preventing you from getting there quicker. Or maybe you have to revise your plan and go about it a different way than you originally thought you would have to. Next card is the Four of Wands reverse. Four of Wands upright usually means celebration and marriage and stability. Reverse, it could mean that, I mean, you are celebrating a personal goal. Maybe you quit smoking, or you went to the gym consistently, and maybe you have inner harmony now. You know, maybe you have inner harmony and stability. And if you doubted yourself before in the past, it could mean that you're more self-assured now. It could also mean, since it's like a card of family and celebration, it could also mean that maybe you're taking on other people's troubles in family life or friendship life or work life. Maybe you're taking on the responsibility for things that's happening wrong, or getting in trouble for things that's happening and you're not the one that's doing it. Or, you know, you are getting caught up in other people's problems. It could be that you're changing jobs, because upright it's a card of stability. So it could be that something's changing, like you're changing jobs, you're preparing to move, you're leaving a relationship. It could mean all those things. This next card, the Six of Pentacles, represents sharing the wealth. It can mean that you are in a position to share wealth in abundance and give financial assistance to someone, or maybe someone is able to give financial assistance to you. This is a card of financial harmony. So maybe whatever change or idea that you have, or pertaining to a relationship, it can mean that it's an equal give and take type of thing. However it resonates, however it pertains to you in your life. Moving on. The next cards you have are the Knight of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Star reverse, and also the Wheel of Fortune reverse. Okay, so let's get into this, because there's like multiple storylines. This is a general reading, so it can mean so many things. For the Knight of Swords, this guy is like rushing in. I mean, he has no type of worries or doubts, and if he does have conflicts ahead, it doesn't faze him. So maybe with this new venture or this relationship or this new job or whatever project you're starting or working on or decided on, maybe you're ready to seize the day. Like, you're going to be, or you need to be, assertive in your wants and desires. But the only thing about it is, don't move too quickly or too brash or hurt people's feelings, or, you know, move without thought. You know, don't. It's a good card, but it's a fast moving card. It's fast energy. It's quick. So it may be coming in very quick. Nobody can stop him. Like, any conflicts or anything that's obstacles that's in his way, it doesn't faze him. But again, just make sure you're realizing how you're moving and how it affects you and the consequences in the long run. I don't know what's going on with my speech. Yeah, because, you know, just make sure you're prepared, moving that fast, for the implications that will happen if you make a certain decision or choices. Next card is the King of Pentacles. And upright, it usually represents stability, wealth, or you could be dealing with a Virgo. This is an earth sign. Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. But reversed, it still represents those signs, but maybe they may not be good for you. You know, maybe your wish is not coming true with that earth sign, because the Star card is wish fulfillment, so, and it's reversed. So pertaining to love, I don't know, you know, who that's for, but maybe with that earth sign, things aren't going how you thought it was going to go. But getting on to more general things, it's just telling you to look at your relationship with money, because normally upright, this is a card of stability. So just look at your relationship with money. You could be putting money before all relationships, and that could take a toll on your relationships, because maybe you're a workaholic and, you know, putting money above relationships is not really instilling the closeness in the relationships. You know, it's taken away from the relationship, so just be careful with that. It also can represent somebody who's very stubborn. So you or someone you're dealing with could be very stubborn, you know, pretty much. Moving on to the Star card. The Star card, like I said, upright is usually a card of wish fulfillment and your dreams coming true. But reverse, maybe you feel overwhelmed. It's a test of faith. Or it could be telling you that you need to worry about self and take care of yourself, and result for self-care and retreat. Those are some things that it could mean, you know. And then you have the Wheel of Fortune, reverse, upright, usually means a new cycle, ending new beginnings. Wheel of Fortune, I mean, the odds are in your favor, but reverse, your luck might turn for the worse, or it could just mean that you are ending a cycle that no longer serves you, or you're cutting something out that no longer serving you. It's the ending of something. And at the bottom of the deck, you have the Seven of Cups reverse. So normally this is a card of too many options, you know. Maybe you could have been dealing with multiple people, you know, or you could have been dealing with multiple opportunities or whatever. That's how it is upright. But reversed means maybe after everything that you've been through, you come to a decision. The confusion of making all these choices is lifted. You're out of the illusionment. You have clarity. This card up here, you have clarity. So at least you're coming out of the illusion, Libra, and you're realizing that what decision you need to make about your life, about your personal life, what changes you need to make. This is a very, very short reading. I didn't think any of the other cards at the bottom of the deck really spoke to this reading. I do hope that this helps, and I enjoyed your reading. Thank you so much, Libra. I'll see you next month.